and welcome to my weekly video blog, and today on A Vogel Talks Menopause I'm going to be talking about, can the menopause cause itching all over? If you like my tips and advice, then please subscribe and remember to hit the bell icon so you can be notified of all my new videos. Itchiness is a really common menopause symptom, and when I first started looking into this, I was really surprised at how many women can end up experiencing itching of some kind during the menopause. So there's 5 main areas where it seems to occur, and itching, it can cause a lot of distress. I have women tell me that they're so itchy that they literally scratch themselves until their skin's bleeding. It can impact on your sleep. At work, it can impact on your confidence, and it can cause a whole load of other issues as well. So I'm going to look at the 5 main areas. So number 1 is itchy skin in general, and this can happen just about anywhere on the body. It can be itchy a lot of the time, or it can be something that just suddenly appears for an hour or 2, or maybe even less. It can be a rash. It could be things like prickly heat. That's the kind of prickly rash that you get sometimes if you get too hot, if you're on holiday. This particular one tends to be caused by an overproduction of histamine. If you think about it, going through the menopause, a lot of women experience more anxiety. That's going to trigger histamine. You have stress as well, and also just the hormonal changes that are going on. It puts much more pressure on our nervous system. This can make us produce a lot more histamine, and when histamine hits the skin, you get the rash, you get the itching, you get the blotchiness. It can also be due to the fact that our skin gets thinner as we go through the menopause. Less estrogen can very often take away a little bit of padding on the skin. So if your skin is thinner, it may end up being more reactive to things like your body creams, your shampoo, your shower gel, even the clothes that you're wearing, depending on what kind of washing powder you used. So these can all irritate the skin that little bit more and cause these rashes. So what to do in this case? Loads of water, because dehydration is a big factor here. If you can dilute the histamine in the body, then that can go a long way of reducing the impact that the histamine can cause. So loads of water on a regular basis. Try and go for a natural antihistamine such as Nettle. You can go for Nettle tea. You can also go for Nettle tincture as well, maybe a couple of cups of Nettle tea a day, and take the tincture 2 to 3 times a day. And just check all the body products that you are using. So many of them, especially if you use a lot, the chemicals combined that are in all these products can start to irritate the skin. So maybe look at going a little bit more natural, and very often that can have a huge impact. You've got itchy under the arms. If you think about it, if you're having hot flushes or sweats, you're going to perspire an awful lot more under the arms. What a lot of women then do is they use more and more antiperspirants, and these are full of chemicals. So you've got the body is trying so hard to perspire under the arms, the pores in the underarms are blocked by the antiperspirants, so no wonder things can start to go wrong and you can start to get a lot of itching. In this situation, the best thing to do is to go for natural deodorants. If you don't allow the body to sweat properly, and I have gone into this in detail in several other video blogs, then that can make things like hot flushes and night sweats worse, because your body can't regulate its temperature. So using a natural deodorant that doesn't block the pores but allows the body to sweat naturally, but is strong enough to stop you smelling, very often can stop the itching as well. Number 3 is itchy eyes. what can happen here is that falling estrogen can dry the mucous membranes around the eye, and this can produce, you can then produce less tears, your eyes can start to get dry, they can start to get irritated, and they can start to get itchy. Very often, a lot of women going through the menopause find that they get a lot more irritation from their contact lenses because of this. So this is something, it is really a good idea just to double check with your optician. Falling estrogen can also affect the eyesight because it can put different pressures on the eye. So again, it's really important through the menopause and post-menopause to get your eyes checked on a regular basis. For this here, remember the water, because the dehydration is a factor. You can look at Buckthorn Oil is really good for dry eyes. And of course, we have our extra moisturizing eye drops that can be very helpful too. Number 4 is an itchy vagina. This is another really common one. And of course, it's very uncomfortable. Again, due to low estrogen mainly, that can cause dryness. It can cause less production of the mucus in the vagina that keeps everything running smoothly. If you reduce the mucus in the vagina, that can also affect our friendly bacteria, and it can let other bacteria in that may cause a little bit more irritation. So this one here, again, water, but also the Buckthorn Oil can be really helpful. And I would also take a course of a vaginal probiotic. And if this is something that happens regularly, maybe every 3 or 4 months, do a course of the vaginal probiotics. And these can be really helpful in a lot of cases. Number 5 is itchy scalp. Again, dry skin can cause itchiness in the scalp. If you are using lots of different shampoos, conditioners, hairspray, hair products, you're drying your hair with a hairdryer, or you're using curling tongs, anything like that, these are all going to dry the scalp and make it much more itchy. So plenty of water here. Again, Buckthorn Oil should also be helpful. Some people find using just a little bit of oil, if not so much if you've got long hair, but if you've got shorter hair, you can maybe do an oil massage once a week just to keep the skin that little bit softer. And we have our neem shampoo, which we recommend for an itchy scalp. So as you can see with all these itchy areas, water is something that's really important. So just remember that on a daily basis. The other thing that can happen too, as I mentioned before, is that your skin can get a lot thinner. You can get allergies to all sorts of things that are going on. So check all your creams, your washing powder, even things like washing powder on your sheets. If you think about it, you're lying on your sheet all night, and the chemicals that you used in your washing powder may be irritating the skin every single night. It could also be food. We know a lot of women find that foods that they could tolerate before the menopause suddenly start to cause issues. Caffeine is a big one. Alcohol is another one, and high sugar and salt foods. So if you're getting itching at certain times of the day or certain days of the week, maybe you're getting it at the weekend rather than during the week, then maybe do a little food diary, because it may be that certain foods that you are eating at certain times are causing a natural histamine reaction in the body, and that's then triggering the itchy skin. So I hope you found this one helpful. If any of you out there have any tips that you've used to help your itchy skin, then please do share them, because we would love to hear all about them. And until then, I will see you next week for another edition of A. Vogel Talks Menopause.